Why do you have drunk elephant in your room?
Why?
Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Yep to My App. I'm still Erica Star, and today I'm here with
Nisha.
And today we're talking confidence. So let's just get right into it. First question. When you think about confidence, what does it mean to you?
I feel like this is such a loaded question.
Yeah.
I think you can't really define confidence, and I feel like everyone has their own definition of what confidence means, and I think that definition also changes over time.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was younger, growing up, confidence was always oh yeah, you look pretty, and it was more of a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, your hair is put together, your makeup is good, and then you're walking as if you're the shit. That's confidence. But I think now I'm learning that confidence is so much more deeper than just what it looks like on the outside, and it's all about ultimately, for lack of a better term or phrase, is how secure you feel within yourself. And it doesn't have to be this perfectly packaged thing of I look put together, because I could look like the fucking bus just hit me, but I could still feel confident because I feel secure in my body. I feel secure in who I am today and who I'm trying to become. So, but that definition is very different from somebody else.
Yeah.
So I feel like confidence, and I think that's why it's always such a hard topic for so many people to uncover, because no one can really truly define it by just one thing.
Yeah. For me, I think that, at least from my experience with it, is confidence is an energy. Because I feel like there are a lot of people, and especially kids, who have it without knowing. That it's just they're walking around and they're wearing their tutus or their little wings, and they're just kind of well, yeah, what the fuck else was I going to pick to wear to school today?
Right. Exactly.
And I think it's, at least in the beginning, it's ignorance to how the world is perceiving you. And then that's when it starts taking jabs at you, when people start caring about how you look, and, and then after that, it's all from within. And for me, I think my confidence, the best way to describe mine is the comfortability with taking up space. And for me, a lot of that started at the gym. It's, they have those things, those videos where it's shy girl workouts, and it's all workouts you can do in a corner, anything that's take your barbells, your kettlebells, take all the things and bring them over there so no one has to look at you. And I used to do that. And then with time, and it's also the people you surround yourself with, because it's going to different gyms and doing different workouts, and then realizing that the other people who are bigger than you, stronger than you, look better than you, are just as welcoming and humble as you are. It's wait. And then you start leveling yourself out. It's we're all the same. Inside, we're all the same. Because confidence comes from not giving a fuck what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also not comparing.
Yeah.
Because it's my mom always says this phrase, anytime someone tries to get under her skin or anything, it's always you don't compete where you don't compare. And I feel that has always been something that I kind of live by, because I know when whatever situation I'm in is just, it's not my place to even think I can compare, because a lot of people like to use that phrase and be on some well, I'm better than you, don't compete where you don't compare. And it's but on the flip side, I like to think you know what, that room isn't for me, and whether it be because I hate that this always comes back to looks, but it's the easiest thing to compare.
Yeah.
It's just a room full of bottle girl baddies. And it's okay, well, my body isn't done and my nose is mine and I'm not wearing a ton of makeup. And it's that's not even my thing. And it's not, I'm not better than them. It doesn't make them any better than me, but it's just there's
a huge difference between arrogance and confidence, and I think so many people confuse that. It's you can feel really good about yourself, but if you're walking around feeling oh yeah, this bitch is ugly and that person is ugly, I'm better than this person, that's not confidence, that's arrogance. Because at the same time, you're still, it's this need for validation. It's almost you're trying to validate yourself to be this confident person, or the prettier one, and you're comparing yourself to another person for your own validation, where it's why can't we just all be pretty together?
Yeah, like you can't
know?
look good without putting somebody else down.
Exactly,
It's like
exactly. And yeah, that's just not how it works.
very elementary school. I'll never forget. There was this one girl. We made amends since then, but in like second grade, even as far back as kindergarten, she used to always point out stuff about my clothes. And like, I'll be honest, I'm a neurodivergent kid and adults. So like, when I like something, I really like it. And
we love a good hyperfixation.
yeah, but when the thing that you like is a very noticeable pair of pants, you know, like it'd be different if it was a pair of like plain blue jeans and like no one could tell it was just blue. No, it was this one pair of like flary bottom jeans, not very different from what I wear now, but it had like these like brown embroiderings. It was so pretty. And she had to point out like first when she first saw them, she was like, oh, those are cute, but they don't look good on you. Like they would look a lot better on me. So it was like a backhanded compliment. And then after she started seeing me wear them more, like she felt the need to point it out really loudly in front of everyone. Like, you wore those pants 3 times this week. And I was just like, it was the first week that my mom started letting me dress myself, which was clearly a mistake. But I was just like, damn, like, airing me out for what? Like, no one would have noticed. No, and then I think about it, like, you're taught arrogance, you're taught confidence, because I remember, like, you know, I don't know if this is like a super Hispanic thing or just like depending on the community you grew up in, there's a need to like make your kids more than presentable and look really nice, not just because like, I'm gonna just put it plainly. Like, I didn't grow up in like the classiest of neighborhoods. So like, it's very easy for an ACS case to get, you know, put on any of us if we're going to school looking a little busted and it's just because, you know, we woke up a little late that day, you know? So in her, you know, home and stuff, like her mom made an effort to make sure she always had the latest Jordans. She always had the best clothes, that she always had, you know, like the best hairstyle. And I'm pretty sure she put it into her daughter, like, you're better than everyone else, you know, and just kind of saying like, and this is why, it's because of how you look. It's because of your body. Cause she was one of those girls, like she had like a body at like 7 years old. And it was like, what the fuck? Like it was crazy. Even looking back, I'm like, that was a woman body on a little kid. But it's one of those things that you could tell that was something that was just like instilled in her from a very young age. And me, I was just told that like, you're perfect, you know?
Yeah, you're perfect the way you are.
Yeah, so like when this little
bitch. I got no ties to her.
So like when she said that to me, I was like, ow. Like, I'm not even supposed to care what you think, and for some reason I do. Yeah. And that's the part where I'm like,
I think it sucks because it's like you were saying earlier, like when we're young, like we think like, you know, we're the shit and like we think we're the prettiest little girl in the world, and it's like, oh, to be young again and feel that way. But then it's also like it's at that same age where like you learn insecurities and you learn what you're insecure about because everyone starts comparing themselves to each other. Like I remember like being in elementary school and like wearing like the school uniform or whatever. I'm like, okay, like we're just wearing a fucking like gray shirt and like navy blue pants.
And that one
like,
girl makes it snazzy.
So snazzy with like the fucking like cutest, like skinniest blue jeans. All the guys looking at her because like her ass is showing and everything.
Girl.
And I would just be like, damn, like, why is my ass not assing like that? And it's like, girl, you're fucking 12. Like your ass is not to be assing like that.
Bro, I've had the same situation where it's like in my school, it wasn't the type of school where we had to wear the shirt from the brand that like the school made. It was like, they were just like, okay, any blue shirt is fine, any royal blue shirt. So I remember like my mom bought me a bunch of colored blue shirts, but I had one shirt that fit very different from the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was washed differently one day, if it was dried differently. It was all the same brand, all from like the same like store visit, but it just fit different. The color was brighter, and I made sure that I always wore that like on the day that something special was happening, like if I was gonna talk to a boy or whatever. And then there was the gym shirt, because the gym shirts you were allowed to wear just t-shirts.
Yeah.
So I had one that was like a little extra fitted and it had a kind of like a V-cut situation. Yeah. And I remember just like overthinking that shit. Like it's just a blue shirt. Like why am I going so hard for this? And then, you know, once again, it was just like the girls with the bodies, like no matter what. And that might be why sometimes I think the way that I think now, because I've always said like the body's the outfit most of the time. Yeah. Like you can make a trash bag, you know, look amazing if you got the right body under it. Yeah. And I feel like that started back then in middle school. Yeah. When the girls were just looking Great. Or like the ones that they will put like the white t-shirt under like the collared shirt. Like they just
Yes. And like when I try it, I look like a fucking like
Yes.
Oompa Loompa. Like what the fuck? Or like
Yes.
even just like them like wearing makeup and like or like having their hair done. And it's just like I think a lot of the insecurities that we've developed were just something that we kind of were surrounded by. Like it was like almost like learned insecurities that we had. And it sucks because like, and I say this all the time, like where, and I think so many other people say this now, where like we look at the 12-year-olds now and we're like, you guys look like you're fucking 22. Like,
They look
why are
big.
we doing like this like 15-step skincare routine and like a full beat at like fucking 13?
Why do you have drunk elephant in your room?
Why?
It don't make sense.
Like you missed out on the Claire's days, baby girl.
Yes.
The Justice days. Come
Justice.
on.
What was the one with the monkey?
Oh my god.
Justice had stuff with the monkey, but I don't think that was.
No, yeah, I don't think that was Justice.
There was another, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know. And if you don't, you're too young.
You are. I remember when my first pair of skinny jeans. That's another thing.
Oh my
like,
god.
when I was first allowed to start wearing skinny jeans, like I don't know what ass I thought I had. I don't know what I thought I was showing off. I just knew that like it was a little more like than my other stuff. And I'm just like, it's weird because sometimes you can't pinpoint when that shift started. Cause like
it's like a gradual thing.
yeah, like what do I know at 11 years old how to be promiscuous or to be like, you know, like what the fuck do I know?
Right, yeah.
It was just so weird. Like I was going to see the Jonas Brothers and I was in the fucking movie theaters and I was excited. You know, like what did I know about anything? Like, oh my God, I'll never forget when I went to my first Justin Bieber concert.
Yeah.
I wore like, you know, this purple outfit because that's what you're supposed to wear in like 2012 to see Justin. And I just swore that was the fit. Like that was the one.
You were going to be Y/N.
Yes. That
Your
he
name.
was going to see me. And it would have been over for any other One Less Lonely Girl.
My favorite thing is like when I was old enough to like start shaving down there, like shaving before a concert. Bitch, you all the way in fucking section 200. They not gonna be like, Nisha, come up to the stage right now. Like, what the fuck? But it's like, but like this like goes into the confidence thing because it's just like you do things to make yourself feel good. Because best believe I was at that concert thinking like, yeah, like I'm the fucking shit. Like, like they're gonna fall in love with me. And I had the best fucking time.
And then like now that we're older, and it's not to say like those concert fantasies don't go away.
Yeah.
You still think they're gonna see you. But then you see another girl who you think is pretty and you're like, damn, she got him.
Yeah. Damn. That's so funny.
That's so real. Okay.
Me at that Al concert. Like, damn, I should have been that girl in that bed.
Don't get me started on that. Okay. So what did being confident mean to you when you were younger versus now?
I think when I was younger, I feel like being confident really meant like almost like being the popular girl in school. Like, again, like just that validation, like feeling like everyone wants to be you or everybody wants to be your friend. Everyone wants, like all the guys like you. And I think that was like the hardest part throughout, especially middle school, because that's when you're going through all the hormonal changes and like you're stepping into becoming like a woman. Like that's when you get your period and like you like start like noticing all these shifts with your body. And so then it's like when it's not the same as that popular girl in school and I'm comparing like what my body looks like to hers and like how her hair is so perfectly done and mine is like this greasy ass mess. I'm like, damn, like, you know. And it's just like, I feel like that for me was like, oh yeah, like that's what being confident means. But it's like, at the end of the day, she could probably be going back home and like looking at herself in the mirror and being like, I fucking hate the way that I look. Like, I don't feel good enough. And I think I unlearned a lot of what confidence meant from what it meant as like a 13-year-old, 16-year-old, where like, what confidence means to me now is so much more greater and or what it looks like now is so much more greater. Like for me now, it's not about, I mean, yeah, like I still like, I think we all will always struggle with validation and we'll always like kind of try to find that validation and from other people or from other things. But I think as an adult now, it's not really about how I look. It's more, again, like just about like how I feel.
Yeah.
And like, if I feel good about myself, if I feel good in my skin, or like there's days where like I will wake up and like be like, I feel like the prettiest girl in the world. Like I feel so fucking skinny. Like, you know, like the world is my oyster. Everyone loves me. And then the next day I'll wake up and be like, I feel like a fucking sack of potato. I hate myself. I'm not good enough. And I think that's also like a huge thing to think about with confidence, is like it's never this linear journey. And it's also like never this like, again, like there's not a definition for it. Like it's whatever it is that you make for yourself. And I think trying to find that external validation will never help you in trying to define what confidence means for you. It's always about, okay, what does it mean for me? What does it look like for me? And how can I have that manifest for myself? Because no one else is going to help you find that confidence within yourself.
Yeah. I think a lot of my confidence when I was younger was like what I said earlier, complete blind confidence.
Yeah.
If you go to my Facebook, and even if we were able to uncover my MySpace in some way or whatever, like you would see a lot and you'd be like, who did she think she was? Like I would whip up my webcam and there's a whole video of me singing Next to You by Justin Bieber and Chris Brown. And I think part of what it is, it's just like my family just kind of let me be me like all the time, because I remember recording that and my mom, my aunt, my grandma, and my little brother were literally in the other room. And if they all just like shut up for a second, they would hear me fucking belting in the living room in front of the laptop. And I had no shame. Yeah. Like no part of me was like, oh my God, they're going to hear me. It was just like, nah, that's what I do.
It's being unapologetically yourself.
Yeah. And I was just like, I mean, a lot of that has stood even into my adulthood, which I'm grateful for. But it's like, I didn't think about it as much back then. I was like, until someone like makes me feel like my life is threatened for doing it, I'm gonna keep doing it. There was never a thing of like, someone might not like this. Okay, so what? Yeah. I remember I had a friend in middle school. I was in 6th grade and she had like a lot of confidence issues. She was going through a whole bunch of stuff. And like, you know, at 11 years old, she was calling me like her life coach because like, I guess she told me I give good advice. But one thing she has told me that has stood with her even to like this very day, which I was like, oh shit, I said that. That's so nice. That I had said, for every person who cares for you, enjoys you, loves you or whatever, because I think she wants to do stuff on social media, she sings and all that. I said, for every one person like who likes your stuff, I was like, there's 1,000 more. Because I was like thinking about the world and like how big it is. I was just like, that's a lot of people if you think about it, just haven't like reached them yet. And she had told me like, you know, like I still go by. I was like, oh. And
that's
then
so sweet.
I don't know where I got it from. I mean, I know like clearly like my parents, like they put a lot into me when it comes to like making me think I'm like the best human being in the world. But like, I don't know, you don't realize until you get older like how much it like sticks. And then now that I'm older, to me, confidence is just an energy. Like I said it before, but it's like, it really is. Cause like you said, like you could look however which way for as long as you're confident, like you're good. But like for me, some of it does have to do with how you look, because it's like, if I do wake up feeling like shit, I'm going to make myself look good. Yeah. And then eventually, like, you know, like they balance each other out.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And I think that, you know, confidence, like, so much, and it sounds so corny, but so much of it is in the way you walk and the way that you do things. Like if you do things timid, if you do things as if you're scared of people watching, like it shows, and people don't gravitate towards that. Because a lot of the time, the reason that people gravitate towards these confident people is because they have someone with a more overbearing presence than they do. Yeah. So they feel like safe, because they're like, if anyone, I guess, sees you, or even like, you know, like you kind of have like cover of some sort. Like it's weird. It's like when I hang out with anxious friends and I'm the one that orders like at the restaurant because it's like they don't want to say anything. Yeah. Like I feel like that's what confidence is. It's almost like this big bubble and you cover anyone within your vicinity. Yeah. And people with like less confidence and people who feel like timid and stuff, like they're okay like attaching to you in some way. And I can say that because there have been times that I've met someone who's a lot more like in your face than I am. And I'm like, okay, I could chill out in this moment. Yeah. Like, I don't have to be, you know, the big person. Yeah. Not in like the bigger person kind of way, but like in like the, you know, the one entertaining people, the one talking, the one doing the most, whatever. But I don't know, confidence is tricky. Yeah. It's very tricky. But one thing that I've, I don't know how to say this, implemented into my life, I guess, in terms of like the way that I think about it, is like, I need to always have a bare minimum level of confidence. Like, you know, it can fluctuate as much as it wants to, but no matter what, it's never, my bare minimum is never getting any lower. Yeah. So there are a lot of things that impact that too. Cause like a lot of times my confidence can just be things going on in my life. If I'm like, Like if I am walking around and my finances are good and
Yeah.
like my apartment's clean and stuff,
Exactly.
it's just like no matter what you say about me, I'm going home to a clean house. I have food in the fridge. Like simple stuff like that builds your confidence when
Yeah.
you think about it through that lens. But it's some people can't see it that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's why I feel like confidence is never just about like an appearance. It's like kind of just like your own way of life or like what it is around you. And like, I like how you said it's like almost like an energy too. It's like my things that I'm going through in life will 110% affect my confidence. Like if I feel like my life is falling apart, like you're probably going to see it in the way that I walk and talk because I'm not going to feel as good about myself. And I could still feel like really pretty and feel like I'm good enough, but because like if again my life is falling apart, like I'm not going to feel as confident. And what I thought was like really interesting about like the bubble thing that you were saying was like I remember one time I was out with friends, we were waiting in line for this club and we were like fuck, like we don't know if we need tickets to get into this club. So my friend was like, "Oh yeah, like Nisha, you ask the guy cuz you're more extroverted." And I'm like, I'm extroverted? Like,
Yeah.
since when was that a fucking thing? Because I grew up being the most introverted, like, wallflower bitch ever. Like, I remember, and I think that's also, like, why I was, like, I feel like I struggle with, like, thinking about what confidence looked like when I was younger because I had zero confidence when I was younger. Like, I was so insecure about myself. Like I don't have any photos of myself from when I was in middle school because I hated that time of my life and like I hated the way I looked. I also hated the way that I felt about myself at that time. Like it was so bad where like there was a point in my life where I like was actually like really afraid of looking at myself in the mirror. So like I would just avoid mirrors altogether.
Oh my
So like getting ready in the
gosh.
morning, like I would get ready in the dark low key.
Aw.
And or like if I needed to look in the mirror, I would just kind of like look like at myself, but like at the wall behind me because I just hated the way that I looked. I hated the way that I felt. I hated the way that I was walking and talking. And like I always described it as kind of like this like out of body sort of experience where just like again like never felt secure in my body. And I think that's why it's so important for me now to feel good in my skin in whatever capacity that meant. Whether that was like I'm going to the gym and like I'm like building confidence that way, or like it's the friends that I have that are uplifting me, or it's the space that I'm creating for myself. And so I think over the years, I was like, okay, I really want to unlearn this whole like out of body sort of experience and like learn to be in my body that like I gradually ended up learning how to get out of the introvertedness and become this extroverted person where like I wasn't even like consciously trying to become like this super sociable person, but like, you know, I think one thing that I remember my ex actually said this a lot where like he was like, I really love how you are in the workplace because I have the utmost confidence in the workplace because I know like I'm good at what I do. And I know that like when I'm at work, like everyone really like praises me and loves the work that I do, that like that makes me feel confident. And in turn, that's what helped me become this like extroverted person and like build that confidence. So again, it's not only about appearance, but just like about other things in your life. And so I remember I was like, my friend telling me that I'm extroverted. I'm like, when the fuck did that ever happen? And like it like really made me reflect and be like, holy shit, like I really unconsciously like learned how to be more of a sociable person, an extroverted person, because I built confidence or redefined what confidence meant for myself over the years of growing up. And like I again, like it's a very non-linear journey. Like I was thinking about this earlier today where it was like, I was thinking about healing. And it's like, I think like so much, and I also work in marketing. So I feel like I'm always like, I'm like side-eyeing like all the beauty brands that like kind of like paint self-love and like building confidence and this like perfectly packaged like buy like this face mask and you're gonna love yourself. And I'm like, fuck you. Actually, I'm not. But yes, I'm still gonna buy that face mask. But it's like, I feel like I lost my train of thought.
Confidence package, not linear.
Yeah, non-linear.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking a lot about what healing looks like, and it's like healing is ugly. Healing is such an ugly fucking thing. The same way building confidence is really ugly. Like there's so many moments where like you will cry your heart out because you think you're not good enough or you don't deserve X, Y, and Z, or like, let's say like rejection is a huge thing too. Like whether that's like being rejected by a job or like by a person or like an opportunity, like that's going to deplete your confidence immensely. And it's always about like, how can I kind of like build resources for myself that like help me kind of like catapult me back up or like keep me afloat at least. And so, yeah, like I think just like from being younger and being this like super like, I remember I would like always wear like baggy clothes, like covering up my body and everything, to like being this girl who like can walk the street and like see this like really cute girl on the side of the road and be like, oh my God, like I love your outfit. Like that was never me before. Or like being the friend that like orders for my friends, or like being the friend that like asks some random person in the line of the club, like, hey, like, do you need tickets for this? And it makes me feel good too, knowing that like I've went through years of growth to get to the point that I'm at now.
Yeah, to your point about like healing and it being very nonlinear and that there being very dark moments in it. I think that I feel like pride takes a part in all of that, because I feel like in order to get through any of that, you have to realize that you're wrong about a lot. And
accountability is, it's a huge thing.
And even when it comes to just like your view of the world, because something that helped me is like, I hated my hair for a long time. Like when, you know, in a Hispanic household, whenever there's a special occasion, you flat iron your hair and you spend hours and hours doing it. And then like, you know, it's very, you know, typical. You get like fucking scabs on your scalp because like you went too close to it. And then you're like picking this scab in the middle of the day and you're like, oh my God, this is kind of gross. Like, what am I doing? Like just weird, stupid experiences that happen when you just grow up burning your hair. And then, you know, I had this moment in high school where I'm just like, oh, like my hair looks so nice, blah, blah, blah. And it's dead. Like I look back at those photos, I'm like, this shit is dead. Like I was just told that having long hair is good and having, you know, just healthy looking hair is good. But it wasn't healthy. It looked healthy because it was so burned that it was just like, you know, when it's so burned and straight that it gets like when it's greasy, it looks healthy.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. And I was like, oh, okay, like I have good hair. And then, you know, I realized like, hold on, Erica, let's take a step back. You hate your hair. It got to a point people thought my natural hair was straight because I didn't go to school unless my hair was straight. And if it was drizzling outside, I would take an Uber to school so that my hair didn't get caught up in whatever humidity. And then I started thinking like, if I go somewhere else, if I literally just leave New York, my hair is considered special and beautiful. And it's, like, in some places, they don't see it as often. Like, I'm unique elsewhere. And then I started putting things into perspective. And I know, like, people say this all the time, but it's so true. Like, even Beyonce got played. Like, it's one of those things where it's just, like, it doesn't matter how you look. Like, you are exquisite to someone. Like, there's someone who thinks that Dua Lipa is the ugliest girl ever. They're like, I would never kill that. Like, what are you talking about? And there are other people who are like, you know, they would fucking kiss the ground she walks on. So I think putting things into perspective like that for me helped me a lot because, and in a weird way, it kind of is like putting someone else down in the road to make yourself feel better. But it's more like, no, I'm just putting you in another place. And just like, I feel like everyone needs the reality check that you are not gorgeous, beautiful, amazing to anyone. Cause I feel like that is what built my confidence. Cause it's like that no one is immune to that experience. Like you just, you know, if you're fortunate enough to live somewhere where you are considered like the beauty standard and you have lived your whole life being amazing, beautiful, whatever you want to call it, then I mean, kudos to you, I guess. Like you're going to grow up ignorant to some extent, but it's like, I wouldn't be angry at that life, you know? So I think realizing that anyone can be considered less than perfect, no matter how perfect you think that they are, made me believe that I'm my own version of perfect. Which, and to me, like, I hate speaking like this sometimes because it sounds so like pick me in a way where but it's like you're your own version of perfect. Everyone is like, I don't care what you think. Like, it's so gross to me. But it's a true thought. It's a real thing. And it's the stuff that girls don't be talking about out loud because it sounds the way it does.
It's like, you have to just accept that not everyone's going to like you. Whether that's your personality or the way you look, like, it's such a hard truth to come by, especially when you're a people pleaser. Like I'm a recovering people pleaser, and I care so much of what other people thought about me, and I still sometimes do. And I think we all inherently kind of do care about what other people fucking think about us because we're just, especially with like being in like the digital age, like on social media, we are always craving some kind of external validation. But like, especially when I was younger, like I was always worried about, okay, like, does this person like me? Like, I really hope like this person is my friend. Like, I was trying so hard to be friends with the popular girls, so fucking hard. Like, I remember I did anything that I possibly could to like be their friend, but it was just like, I knew like, okay, like they're not gonna want to be my friend because I look the way that I look and I have acne all over my face and everyone makes fun of me with my acne, even though again, I'm like fucking 12 years old going through like a big woman shift in my life. Like, acne is normal and it still is very normal. And that was something that like I wasn't getting across in my head because I was so worried about like what other people thought about me and feeling accepted by some other person where it's like, not everyone needs to fucking like you. And if they don't fucking like you, guess what? There's gonna be somebody else that wants to be your friend and somebody else that likes you and somebody else that's gonna.
There are people who don't like them.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. Like you're gonna find, and like kind of like what you were mentioning earlier is a lot about like who you surround yourself with. Like having friends that truly uplift you, or like just even if it's just one person, even if that's your mom, like uplifting you, like that is such a core thing to have and like an important thing to have in your corner, because you need people like that, like who aren't necessarily giving you like validation necessarily, but just kind of like being like, I care about this person so much that like I want them to feel good because they deserve to feel good. And that's where their intention is of with uplifting you. It's not about like, oh well, like I'm better than this person, but I'm just gonna say that like she's like good enough or she's pretty.
No, because I feel like confidence can definitely, I mean, I feel like confidence and self-worth are hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I think that for as long as you have that person who makes you feel worthy of existing or like having a purpose is more than enough. But I also think that when it comes to having the right people around you, I feel like there are several types of right people to have around you, because they're different types. Like, because I think about my friends, and like I have friends who think that everything I do is amazing. I could do the worst thing and confide in them and they'd be like, bitch, he deserved it. You know, like I got those friends.
I support a woman's wrongs.
Yeah. And then I have other friends who like, you know, they're just level-minded people, but they're very confident in themselves. And I think that this is always the hardest person for someone who's trying to figure out like their identity and stuff to come by, because confident people are threatening. Confident people are intimidating. Yeah. So it's like when you have a confident friend and they go about life a certain way, that, you know, they walk, they talk a certain way, like there's a part of you that wants to say like, why are you being like such a bitch? Or why are you being, why are you being arrogant? Why are you being all these things? And it's like, they're not, it's just the way that they go about life is very different than you do. They respect themselves more. They have a whole lot more dignity. They say no more because they know what they want. Like confident people are just a force to be reckoned with. And I like to think I became one. But I have friends though that like when I hang out with them, I'm just kind of like in awe, because it's like the way that they word their sentences, the way that they do certain things, the way that they eat, the way that, you know, they talk about their experiences in life, that they don't, you know, they're not making themselves the victim. They're not, they're just not doing things that a small person does. Yeah. And I say that it's hard for someone who's like struggling with their identity and stuff to come by, because it's like, it's when you see someone who embodies what you want to be, like, you know, envy and jealousy is inevitable. And it's like, if you're able to look at them and do nothing but admire them with the goal of becoming something like them, then you've got all the power. Like it's good to have someone around, because if you don't have a confident person around you, you don't know how to be confident. Yeah. Like you see celebrities and stuff, but that's nothing. They're not real people living the kind of life that you live.
It's good to have a role model and like someone, and it be like someone that's your friend.
Yeah, someone who's around you often, who like, because it's like, it's different too to like listen to someone like me and be like, oh, well, she does this and she does that. Like you need your friend to come to you with experiences that they have with your mutual friends, with people that you experience, to be like, hold on, I would have gone about that entirely different. Because I feel like when you see someone online talk about things, like you like to say like, oh, but my situation is different because this guy's not like that and that girl's not like that and our moms aren't the same and blah, blah, blah. But it's like when you have friends who embody what it is, whatever it is you want to be, like listen to them. Yeah. And obviously like this discretion is a thing, because if you want to be like someone who's a piece of shit, that's a very different story. Yeah. But like, you know, if they're, you know, this amazing, wonderful human being that you want to be like, it's just take notes. I think that's the biggest thing. Like take notes and do your best, and just try to not cross that line where it gets creepy and you know where it's like you want to live in their skin and wear their clothes.
Right, right.
That I've heard this has never happened to me, but I've heard so many stories from other girls where like that's a thing.
That is fucking weird.
I don't get it. Like I've had my moments where I've been less than confident, but I'm not that.
Yeah, like that's a whole other level of like learning confidence.
Like you don't know yourself.
Luckily, we didn't have to go through.
Yeah, I was.
But I think to your point about like friendships, I feel like some of the greatest lessons, and like especially when it comes to being in my body, a lot of those lessons I learned from my friendships. Like growing up in a very religious household, like I grew up very sheltered. Like I was told, like growing up in a Muslim household, like just being told like, oh, you can't wear this and you can't wear that. You can't show off your body like this. Like that also instilled a lot of insecurity in me because I was like, okay, like I'm not allowed to feel good in my body and I'm not allowed to really like seek external validation specifically from men because it's against my religion or like what my mom is saying. And so like, especially when I was in high school, when I was kind of like really trying to unlearn a lot of my insecurities, it was my specifically female friendships that really helped me step into the person that I wanted to become. Cause I would look at my friends and be like, wow, like they're so confident, or like, oh my God, like I admire them and I want to become like them, but like not in like a really creepy way, but just like in like I want to learn from them. And I think those are the friends that you want to have in your life. Like the friends that teach you to be better and that are also not only, and I think this is a really big note to make when like making friends or like thinking of friendships, is like you don't want just a yes man in your corner. Like you want someone that also holds you accountable. Like if they're like, Nisha, like what you did was wrong, and it's like you grow from it. It's about like personal growth when it comes to building confidence. Again, it's never just external. And it's always about, like, it's a twofold thing. It's about the outside, and then it's also about what's in the inside. And I think friendships have been the thing that's really helped me build that confidence too, because I've had people in my life where again, like I would look at them and be like, wow, like I admire their work ethic and I want to learn from them, and I'll ask them all these questions, and like they're also like not afraid or ashamed or like think it's like a competition. Like I feel like
there's no gatekeeping.
There's no gatekeeping when it comes to certain female friendships. Some friends are gatekeepers, but like it's learning like, okay, like if this person is gatekeeping, they're not your real friend.
That's another thing. Like if you're gatekeeping, once again, it's because they view you as competition.
Exactly.
Because they're just like, oh, why would I let you win? That's almost how it comes off. And it's like someone who's truly confident will give you all the information because they don't care what you do with it. Because you doing better in life has nothing to do with a confident person.
Exactly.
Like,
and like, so if someone is thinking about it being a competition, they're insecure. They don't know what confidence is. And you want to surround yourself with people that aren't like that. You need to surround yourself with people that you want to look at and be like, I want to become like them. And like, we all are living life like in empowerment and a fulfilled life together. Like, I don't look at my friends now and be like, oh yeah, like this person is doing worse than me and I'm doing better than them. Like, oh, I'm so better. Like, no. Yeah. Like there's certain things like they're quote unquote doing better than I am, and I'm doing certain things quote unquote better than they are, but we both respect each other and there's so much that we can learn from each other that like it doesn't even fucking matter.
So was there a single moment, like a specific one, where you were like, oh shit, I'm not who I was? Where it's like your confidence kind of showed itself and you were like, hold on, whatever I'm doing is working. Or I've come farther than I thought.
I think I have this moment like every single year or like almost every single day. Like I've reflected back on this year and I'm like, wow, I feel like a completely different bitch than I was like last year. Like October, Nisha.
Well, you're good. It's okay if they know.
Like me today is so much different from who I was last year, and like me today is so much different from who I was last month and last week. And so I think like it's just always this like constant cycle of like working on yourself and like wanting to be better than who you were the other day or like a second ago. So like I feel like there's never been just like one specific moment where I'm like, yeah, like I did the work and I'm confident. But I think like for me, what was a sign of building confidence was finally feeling okay being alone or like being independent. I grew up a lot again like in like a sheltered home and just feeling very codependent on my parents or like my friends and like felt like my confidence was dependent on someone else. And that also was like a huge reason why I was such a people pleaser, because I wanted people to like me so bad, because if people liked me, that made me feel confident. And so I finally was able to come to a place this year where it was like, yes, I have my friends and like my circle, but like I feel good being alone. And like that was always such a scary thing for me, because it's like with being alone, it meant I'm alone with my thoughts, alone in my body. And again, like with growing up and feeling so out of body and like being scared of what it meant to kind of like be in my body, it like finally coming to a place where like I can be independent and like do things by myself was just it felt like such an empowering thing. And it felt like I am finally loving who, like I love my own company almost. Like I'm loving my own company. I'm falling in love with myself. And I think that's a huge part of building confidence for me, was like I wanted to fall in love with myself. I wanted to fall in love with all of my flaws, and I wanted to accept my flaws. I wanted to love all of the good parts about me and like the beautiful things about how I looked. And like I also wanted to like reframe the way that I looked at my insecurities. Like if I hated, like I hate like how like lopsided my smile is sometimes, and like I'm like, you know what, like I'm gonna smile more then, and like look at myself in photos and like actually like fall in love with that part of myself. And I think a lot of that came with like just doing it by myself, because no one like I really wanted to force myself to be in this place of like not wanting another person to validate me. Like I wanted to be the one that validated myself. And
Yeah.
so I think a lot of this year for me was just about like learning to be okay with being alone, learning to find that love from within, and finding that confidence from within.
Yeah. You brought up so many things for me just now, because like as you were speaking, I had so many thoughts that were so conflicting, which just led me to a point where I was like, oh my gosh, where do I start? Fuck, I'm losing it. I had it. Cause like you said things, and like you were saying how like you want to look at yourself smiling more if you have an insecurity about your smile. And that put me on the spectrum where like I thought about how I go about things like that in my insecurities. And the first thing I tell myself is that no one cares. That's
Yeah.
the first thing. But then as you kept speaking and talking about insecurities and stuff, I was like, hold on. But when I have insecurities, I'm like, wait, but I care.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a mix of like the world revolves around you, and no one gives a fuck about
Yeah.
you. Like I feel like that's what it is for me, that I keep like teeter-tottering between, because it's like something that I do, like when I work on my own confidence, I just think about the way that I view other people. And because the only lens that I can see the world through is my own. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm just going to assume everyone is thinking the way that I'm thinking. And I saw this somewhere too, where someone had posted something and said, tell me about an Instagram story that you saw yesterday. And then they waited, and it was like, you don't remember a single fucking Instagram story that you saw yesterday. And the way I saw that, and then I started thinking, I'm like, hold on. Like, I'm thinking about like posts that I know exist. Like, I know that my friend posted something about their birthday. I know that. And then I'm like, I don't remember how they looked. No part of me was hyper fixated on their hair, their eyes, their nose, their lips, their smile, nothing. And I'm like, okay. And then I think about myself, and I'm just kind of like, I try to just flip it on me and be like, no one remembers what you posted. And if they do, let's just assume it's because something good was in it.
Yeah.
You know, like let's just assume it's because you look so fucking good that they just couldn't stop looking and completely ignore the other possibility.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, like when it comes to confidence, and this is how I go about anything, if it's broken, fix it. Like that's just how I see it. And it's like, you know, I'm not gonna knock plastic surgery. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. However, like for me, the way I go about it is like, you know, I finally started like, not finally, I want to say it started like 3 years ago, but like really taking care of my hair. Like that was just like a huge thing. I stopped putting heat on it in 2016, but I feel like I just really started like really learning how to do it. It takes forever to learn how to do curly hair, but especially like your own hair. But I was just like, you know, like if I'm gonna always be complaining and bitching about it, girl, fix it. Like, work on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I know that this is something I talk about to my mom all the time. Like, I didn't wear my retainer often when I got my braces the first time. And there are things that I notice that no one else notices about my teeth, but I notice and it pisses me off because I just know how much nicer they can look. So I'm like, okay, eventually I got to get my braces.
Yeah.
And, you know, I bite my nails a lot and I don't like showing my hands. So I'm just like, okay, bitch, get your nails done once a month and stay on top of it. Like, or I saw like, this is a random weird thing. When you get older, as a woman, as a man, whatever, you start caring about your feet. Like like before this starts sounding weird, I hate feet. Like anyone who knows
all the
me
feet enthusiasts
knows I hate feet. So that's not where this is going. However, there was one time, like I had like rubbed my foot on my leg. I was in bed and I felt a crack on my heel, and I said, "Oh!" I was like, that didn't feel like a little rough patch. Like it felt like a crack. I said, when did that start? I was like, this is disgusting. I need to take care of myself. Bro, I got my first pumice stone. That was like,
I felt like such a woman.
yeah, like I feel like that was such like a serious thing. And then I got like this Palmer's, it's called like Foot Magic Cream. Bro, like I'm so on top. As soon as I don't like something, I'm like, okay, we're gonna fix it. But I'm okay with doing the thing that takes time. Like I'm not gonna go and put my feet in a tub of fucking leeches and have them bite it off or whatever. Like I'm just like, no, like it's gonna take time, but eventually I'm gonna have nice soft feet that I wouldn't mind wearing open toe shoes with. But like you know, like that's how I go about it. So it's a mix of like, do everything you can to make yourself feel as best as you can.
100%.
Because you're going to see yourself all the time. If anyone's going to notice you, it's yourself. But at the same time, like, even when you look your best, people are also ignoring that too. Like, as much as they're ignoring how bad you look when you're at your worst, they're also ignoring how great you look when you're at your best. Unless you're like, you know, every Instagram post is popping off and it's like, oh my God, like, she's that girl. More power to you. Like, you shouldn't be upset. I'm just saying, though, people don't be caring. They care a lot less than you think they do.
It's about intention. Like, I feel like if you're doing it for yourself, that's all that really matters. Because like you said, like no one else is going to give a fuck. No one's going to fucking notice that you just like pumice stoned your feet last night.
Not a single soul.
I mean, besides everyone else right now. But like no one else is going to know that. But like you know that. And that you found a quote unquote insecurity of yourself. You fixed it. But you didn't do it for someone else's validation because you're worried like someone else is
like
gonna
I'm not
look
posting
at your feet.
foot pictures now that I know I'm fixed.
Exactly. And I think that's like a huge thing with like working out and like body. Like I feel like I was always like complaining about how I looked or like what my body looks like. And it's like, bitch, like then go to the fucking gym, go work out. But it's like, are you doing that because you are trying to get validation from other people to like say like, oh my God, Nisha, like you look so good. Your body looks so good. Or like, are you doing it for yourself because you want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, like this shit is fat. Like, you know, like it's about intention and like invest in yourself because you want to do it for yourself. Like if what helps you think about it or what helps you is thinking about it in this way of like the world revolves around me, but like not in an arrogant way, in like a sometimes
my world revolves around me.
My world revolves around me, then so be it. Then so be it. Because if that's gonna get you that confidence, then as it should.
You know, I think that's another weird thing that I've been dealing with recently, that it's like a blessing and a curse sometimes. Like social media has put us in a place where it's like, you know, Pixar didn't happen. Yeah. And I feel like it's warped my perception of like the world and how many people can possibly see me. Cause it's like it's so crazy that we live in a world where we can go somewhere, look really good, and people who weren't there with us can see it. Yeah. Like, you know, like people weren't doing that, you know, with like our parents and stuff. Like that wasn't a thing. They were just like, no, you're going to make sure that cute boy that you like is showing up because how else he going to see you look that good? Exactly. And I feel like that's part of why, like, you know, everyone else, you know, like the older people, like I don't know if they're confident, you know, I don't know if that's the word, but there are definitely less fucks given. Yeah. And definitely a lot more, you know, presence, you know, from them in comparison to like, you know, younger kids and stuff. But I think about that because I'm just like, you know, like the whole idea of like wasting an outfit. Yeah. Or like a good makeup day gone to waste. It's just kind of like, it sucks because it's like you feel good when other people, like if someone else says, oh my God, like it's because getting noticed. Okay, listen, these are the rabbit holes I go down because I'm just like, I think about like humans and how we're like meant to be like within communities and we're meant to speak to one another, and like engaging is like a thing that humans do. And like no matter what, you're looking for validation regardless. Like
Yeah.
if this is just a human thing to do, that it's nice when someone recognizes that you look different from your regular when you put in more effort to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a mix of like me being like all for, you know, influencers and content creators and like even me wanting to become one and stuff. Like I'm all for it because I get it. And it's just like, yeah, it's cool that like to be known for doing things out of the ordinary and for like putting in more effort or like being really good at this one specific thing. Like I love that. But I feel like there's also like this balance that all content creators need to have where it's like, you're still great even if no one else knows.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part where like true confidence comes in, that like if all social media went away, if, you know, all the internet stuff, if everything just disappeared, are you still happy with who you are? And do you have the right people around you to like keep you mentally like, okay?
I was crashing out this morning because I was like, who am I even doing this for? Like it related back to the gym where I was just like, I really want to work out because like I want to feel good in my body and like I want to enter my winter arc and like be this like really like
Muscle
boss
mommy.
at muscle mommy, BBL allegations,
Yeah.
like skinny waist. Like I want my body so fucking T, but it's like I was crashing out this morning. I'm like, who am I doing this for though? Like, am I like? But then I had to catch myself because I'm like, okay, if like you said, like if all social media went away, if like all circumstances in my life were very different, am I working out and getting this body for some other reason or for some other validation, or am I doing it for myself? And I think that's also like a huge part. Like, for example, like if all social media went away, like would you still be doing a podcast? Or
Yeah.
like journalism in some way? It's like, are you doing it for other people or like you doing it because you genuinely love fucking doing it?
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel about like writing, for example. Like I used to have a blog in high school. And then I quit writing and I have been trying to get back into it for over a fucking decade. And it's been so hard because it's like, again, like I'm worrying about what other people think and like, what if they don't like think it's interesting what I'm writing about or whatever. But it's like, one, I'm thinking about what other people fucking think about my work, my craft, when like the whole intention of me wanting to do it is because I love doing it for myself. So again, confidence is about it boils down to you. You can't spell confidence without you, right?
There is not a single you.
Confidence.
It's confidence.
Confidence. In some language, there's a you in confidence, right? In
Yup.
some language. And so just think about it of like anything that you do should be for yourself. And like, yeah, it's by human nature to want some kind of validation. I think we'll be a fucking sick ass like human race if we like went about life like never like, imagine a world where like no one like compliments each other.
Yeah.
And like that, like it's just such a gray, black and white world. Like, of course, like hype up your friends, have them hype you up, and like have it make you feel good. Like sometimes like I'll have a really shitty day. I'll put on an outfit and I'll be like, oh, I feel so ugly. And my friend will be like, damn, bitch, you look good as fuck. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. And like, we need that. That's totally fucking okay. Like, it's not a bad thing to want validation. It's just about how much you're depending on that to function in life.
Yeah.
It's like, it should be kind of like this, like almost like 80% of your life should be validating your own self. And like the rest is like getting that validation from other things.
Yeah. Because what sucks is that it's almost become like a necessity.
Yeah.
Just because it's so easy to get it on social media.
It's like, oh my God, like Tinkerbell. Like Tinkerbell like wanted attention so bad from Peter Pan that like when she didn't get attention, like she was like dying. It's like, bitch,
Yeah.
fucking love yourself.
How did you stop comparing your progress to others?
I feel like I still do the same.
You do?
I still do. I think it's like, I feel like it never stops low key. Like, I think it's just like how you handle it. Like, I will look at my friends and be like, wow, like they are so ahead of their careers, or like they have, you know, like an apartment, or like I think about that with like relationships too. Like this person is in a long-term relationship and like, oh my God, they're gonna probably get married soon. Like we're inching towards that age of like when people start getting married, and like those little things like will definitely like make you feel like shit about yourself. And so I think like it's human nature to compare yourself, but I think it's also like really important to think like there's that quote where it's like is like comparison is like a disease or something like that,
Yes,
or
I
like
know what you
jealousy is
mean.
a disease.
Yeah.
And so it's about like how you control it. Like I will always have like really vulnerability there. That's how it comes up, like vulnerable conversations with friends and be like, you know, like, yeah, like I'm not happy with how I am with my workout routine, or like not even like workout routine, but like it could be like with certain habits that I have in my life. Like I'm really happy about my job and I'm really happy about my relationship with my family, but I'm not happy with how I'm building a routine for myself. And like I would say like to my friend, like, you know, I admire how you do it. And like I admire these things about you, but it's about being able to recognize like I know I am comparing myself to you, but it's not coming from a place of like you like I feel like you're better than me and you're rubbing it in my face. It's like a no, like I want to learn from you. Like I really admire this about you and I am comparing myself to you, but you're also in my circle for a reason. And like that's one of the reasons is like we will always learn from each other and we will always help each other grow. And like kind of like I'm asking you like can you help me grow from this? So it's I think a lot of what life is like unlearning and relearning certain things, and like also like reshifting the way that you think about things, or like reshifting your perspectives. Like I went from like being this like overly jealous person of comparing myself to other people because I wanted to be just like them and lead the life like them, that like in turn became like this hater ass bitch, where like now I'm like, okay, like I can respectfully and comfortably look at another person, compare myself, but like do it in a way where it's like they're kind of like almost like a role model and I want to become like them, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like I will, and like I even do that with social media. Like I, years ago, like I would like look at someone, like look at an influencer and be like, wow, like fuck this bitch, like she's ugly. But I say that because she has a life that I want to live, where like now I'm looking at her like, she is such a boss ass bitch. And you know what? Like, if I work as hard as she worked to get that life, I can get that life too. And I can build that life for myself. So I think like it's almost good to compare yourself to other people sometimes, because it's almost like this like progress like bar, or like almost like a spectrum for yourself to like track your own goals. Like I will look at a lot of like fitness influencers and be like, I want a body like that. And it's not from like a place of like I hate my body and fuck her because she has a body I want. It's like, no, like she really fucking put in the work, and like I admire her resilience. Like imagining like she probably has a full-time job and like right after that goes to the gym and like works on herself. Like I want to have that discipline and I want to have that type of like just like mentality to show up for myself like that. Like she showed, like it's just like it comes from a place of admiration, I think.
Yeah. I think a lot of like that POV has a lot to do with like how you view yourself. Cause even for me, like there are a lot of people on social media who I follow because for, you know, several different reasons, whether it's like gym reasons, lifestyle reasons, or like even like manifestation stuff where it's like this person has a life that I want mine to be close to in some regard. Like I want to consistently see visuals on my feed of the life that I want, just so that I'm aware of what that looks like, what a day-to-day looks like and stuff like that.
It's like a vision board.
Yeah. And so like something that I don't know, like a lot of people have pointed this out to me and I don't know. It's like severe main character syndrome, but like in a different way. It's not because I feel like all my friends are side characters and like everything is just me, and you know I'm the one that you know gets everybody out. Like that's not what it is. I think of it though in the way that like I view myself in a very high place at all times. Like I post as if I have 1 million followers. I you know speak to my friends, you know as if they're going to listen to everything that I say. So I never want to slip up with the advice that I give. Like I always want to be very intentional with things that I tell them. Or like, you know, I even look at like influencers, content creators and all that stuff, like especially in the gym space as like equals. Like I look at them as if we have the same amount of followers, as if, you know, we go to the same places, and it almost makes me view them as a friend. Yeah. And so when I see their stuff, it's never competition. It's more of just like, oh, look at this person who, you know, in my imaginary world is living the same exact life as me, and look at how they get to look how they act, look at their friends, and it's like you can do that. Like if, for as long as you think that things are unattainable, they will be. Yeah. Like everything, like there's so much power in the tongue. Everything that you say will come to life in some weird way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I view my world as like a cartoon, like it's like a book, and everything you say just gets written in front of you.
Yeah.
So for as long as you say that you hate your life and that your life is shitty and
Yeah.
that, you know, the world around you is black, gray, and white, then it's like, that's what it'll be.
It's about your mindset.
Yeah.
Like you are the creator of your own reality. And if that boils down to like, who are you surrounding yourself with? Surround yourself with good people, surround yourself with good things, like do things for yourself that make you feel genuinely good. Like I remember one of the biggest things when I was younger that I regretted was like I was in ballroom dancing for like 2-3 years. And I remember I got picked to represent the school to compete for the swing dance. And I was terrified.
love the swing.
I love the swing. It was so much fun. But like, I remember like being picked and like being like, me? Like out of everyone? Again, like this like really insecure, like introverted girl, like getting picked to represent the school. And like I was so in my head about, oh my God, like this is a lot of pressure. Like I'm probably not worth it. I'm not good enough. So I reject the offer. And like I remember to this day, I still regret it because like who knows, like maybe I could have been a professional ballroom dancer by now. Or maybe not, but like
you never know what a pivotal moment is until it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember like growing up and being like, I regret this so much. I regret this so much. And like being like, hang on. My life didn't end when I was fucking like, however old I was, like 8 years old, 10 years old, when I rejected the offer of being a ballroom dancer competitively. Like I make my own money. I'm an adult now. Like I can go and book a dance class and get that same satisfaction. And so I remember like I kept on reflecting a lot about how much I missed ballroom dancing, how much I missed dancing. And I'm like, I'm going to just fucking do it now. And so I booked like salsa lessons and I did salsa lessons right before I went to Puerto Rico. So like I was like listening to Bad Bunny's songs and I was just like doing a little bit of like salsa moves or whatever. And I felt so good about myself and I felt confident because it's like I did something not for, again, validation from other people. I feel like I keep on saying that and like instilling that in so many people's minds, but it's like such a huge thing. Like I did that for myself. And I think when you are doing things for yourself, you're surrounding yourself with good people, like you're gonna want to feel inspired to continuously do better for yourself. And like that's gonna inspire your circle of people to want to do better for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I remember I've had so many friends that like would tell me like, I feel inspired by like how much you are hardworking at your job and how much you love your job. And like, I want to have that. Like, I want to live, like, I want to be just like you when I grow up. Like, and it's so nice to like hear that from other people or like for you to feel inspired by someone else. Like again, it should never be a competition. And like when you're at that place in life where you feel like you don't have to compete with another person, it's such a great feeling.
Yeah. And like, you once again, like you say things and my mind goes wild. But it's like I feel like to build confidence also means to do things that others would consider corny. Because it's like, bro, I've had it in my mind like I want to do a dance class, class. But it's like my thing is I'm like all or nothing. Yeah. So like if I start, I'm going to leave, you know, in 3 years as the best salsa dancer.
I when I booked the salsa class, I booked an entire like month cycle. Like I wasn't just gonna go for one class. Like I booked a basic foundations class. I want to graduate and I want to get into the level 1, level 2. Like best believe this time next year, like we're gonna be dancing in the next podcast.
Oh my God.
In 2026.
No, because like another thing too, because I forgot, it was when I started Pilates that this happened actually, and I realized this, where it's like doing things for the first time is such like, it's a humbling experience, but it's one that helps you build confidence because you realize that, you know, being a beginner at something isn't something to be ashamed of. Yeah. It isn't something that's like, it's not as scary as it looks. Yeah. And then it also has to do with like, you know, the friend group and who you keep around because it's like, you know, Taylor does Pilates and like, she was always in my ear, like, you should do Pilates, you should do Pilates. And I was just like, yeah, I'll see. Cause it's like I said, once I start, I'm not going to stop. So I was like, let me just wait till I'm in a financial place where like I can continuously pay month by month or whatever. And then I started and I haven't stopped. And it's just like, it's this cool additional thing that I do now. Yeah. It's like when you're in a, like, you know, as you grow up, like your parents pay for everything. Like if they give you piano classes, you take piano classes. If you got swimming classes, you take them. Like, you know, your life is just kind of paved in front of you and you just do whatever your parents say. People forget that when you're an adult, like if you want to get good at something, or if you want to do something, or you think something's interesting,
you can fucking do
take
it.
a class, you know, just
You
do
can fucking
it, or
do
watch a
it.
YouTube video. Like
It's so crazy when you can use your free will. Like, it's so insane. And I think like that is a huge part of building confidence, because it's like you are just doing things for yourself, investing in yourself. And like, I think when you focus on something where you're continuously getting better at, like, it might not necessarily be like working out, for example, but like it could be like piano lessons. I'll use the piano lessons as an example. Like, you just continuously get good at it, and like, you know you're good at it. That gives you that like kind of like dopamine hit.
it's just
like,
a cool
I'm good.
thing.
I'm good
Yeah,
at this.
it's
I'm
a
like, I'm good
party
enough.
trick. Like
exactly.
when a piano's around, you guys, actually, I used to know All My Life by Casey and JoJo because I learned it in high school. And anytime there was a piano, you know how many, I don't know why, I went to a lot of like weddings and events that year. There were like 6 separate instances where there was a piano and I was like, and everyone was like, oh, who's that? I said, oh, it's just me, just a little something. Then they would start giving me requests. I'm like, that's all I know. That's all I know.
I remember when I was younger, like, I swore down that I was a singer. And so I was like singing, I think it was like, it was Burning Up by Jonas Brothers. And I remember like it was my neighbor, but I grew up with them. So they're like my childhood friend that I call my relative. So I'm going to just say my cousin. Like, he was like, oh my God, like, you should totally sing at like my younger sister's birthday, who was turning like 3 years old. And I remember I was like practicing so hard. I'm like, yeah, like, I'm gonna pull up on the stage, sing this whole song. I didn't end up doing it because I knew, like, again, my insecurity. But like, once upon a time, I was confident in that I could have been a, Jonas Brothers backup singer.
Yeah, so I was a Jonas sister in 3rd grade. Me and 3 friends. We built the Jonas Sisters and we performed When You Look Me in the Eyes. That's what you're like bringing back so many flashbacks for me. Like, I was the kid. I sang solos for the talent show.
Yeah.
With my little mic, and like a lot of kids, they only want to sing like half the song. I always wanted to do the whole song, and they would have to tell me like, Erica, are you okay if we cut it off at this point? I would always say no, but they would just, for time purposes, have to cut it off.
Yeah.
But like, on the flip side, I was the one that was like, oh, you want me to sing? I'll sing.
Right.
If you think it's good, then it's good. Like, back to what you said about like, saying no to the ballroom thing because like insecurities and stuff. The way that I view any opportunity is very much on the flip side. Like, if you offer me anything or if you give me any opportunity, I'm going to assume that there is someone on the other side of that email, on the other side of that, the, not announcement, but like the offer or whatever, who did their research and is confident in me being the best at whatever you're asking me to do. So if anything, for me, it's like
they think I'm good enough for this.
Yeah, so like for me, receiving any opportunity is an award in itself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so then from here on out, I just have to prove that I am who they think I am.
And that's a positive, that's an example of a positive validation to get.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you like think I'm good enough for this brand opportunity, or you think I'm good enough for this job. Like, I recently just got my dream fucking job that I've been like, when I was younger, like, I would always say like, I wanted to be like, well, yeah, unfortunately I did watch Sex and the City when I was younger. So I was like, I want to be like Samantha Jones, who works in PR and like was like living this life in New York City. And I remember like all throughout high school and all throughout college, like always being like, yeah, like this is what I want to do for my career. And like, I never thought I would be 25, like living this life in this career path, and like getting that email of like, you just got offered this job, like was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And it's like that positive validation that I got from it, where it's like, wow, I am good enough for this. Like, I am good at what the fuck I do. And like, again, it gives you that like boost of energy, a boost of confidence, where like I can
boost of morale. Like, you just go through life like, all right, let's do it.
I could do anything now.
Mm-hmm. It's the best.
It's like a superpower.
It is a superpower. So what's something that you used to be terrified to do that you do now like it's nothing? Or you could do now like it's nothing?
I think it has a lot to do with the being alone thing, like just being independent. Like, I remember I was always really afraid of just like, I hated my own company because I hated being in my own body. I hated myself so much that like, I just liked having that companionship with someone else, that it like took off kind of like the attention off of myself, that like, it's like, okay, like if I need to run errands, like I'm afraid of doing them by myself because everyone's going to be looking at me, and like, I'm scared of being by myself. Yeah. It's like, bitch, like you're just getting groceries. Nobody gives a fuck. But it's like, it felt really good, like doing it with someone else, because it's like, it was kind of like a distraction from my mind of like, okay, like I'm doing it with my best friend. Like we're going on a
Yeah.
little walk and like my best friend is like not gonna like look at me like, oh, like what the fuck is this bitch? Like she loves me unconditionally.
Yeah.
And so it always felt so good doing things with other people that like that was a huge thing where I'm like, okay, I know that kind of with what you were saying, like there's a problem, we got to fix it.
Yeah.
And like I had a huge problem with this codependency thing where it's like, I don't want to live my life forever feeling like I need to depend on someone else for me to feel secure within myself. And so I needed to really learn that. And so I was like, okay, exposure therapy, like there's really no other way that I can unlearn this and relearn it and reshift my thinking without putting myself in those uncomfortable positions. So I took myself out on solo dates. I went to the movies by myself. I would eat at restaurants by myself. And something about with like restaurants specifically was like, I love food. I'm a big ass fucking foodie. I love social media. I love writing. So I'm like, I have these things that I love to do. So when I go out solo dining, I'll literally write about my meals that I'm having, or I'll like film myself like eating and like reviewing the food and stuff. And like it's all these things that I implemented into this like really scary, daunting thing because like those are things that I love, and it's like things that are representative of me, where it's like just like being on a date with myself. And again, like falling in love with myself. Like I fell in love with myself every single time I do something alone. And I think that that was one of the biggest ways that I was able to learn confidence, was like just being okay with the fear of being alone and like accepting that fear and like almost like welcoming that fear in of like, yeah, like you're at a restaurant around all these other people that are on like these like big dinners with like a friend or a partner or family, and like you're here by yourself, and you're probably like someone on the receiving end like might be looking at me like, wow, like I wonder if she like is like scared that like people are looking at her weirdly, where it's like, no, nobody really gives a fuck. Like, bitch, I'm hungry. And like I'm hungry, and like if no one's gonna wanna like take me out to this restaurant or like come to this restaurant with me, I'll do it myself. And it was such an empowering thing to like have to finally settle into that mentality of like, if no one else would, then I will.
Yeah.
And that really made me love myself more and more to get into that point. I think that's actually probably where I like, that was like the pivotal moment of like,
yeah,
I'm building confidence.
It's interesting that you say that like you fall in love with yourself like more and more with like the solo dates and stuff, because it made me realize that I view my own confidence through the perception of how I think other people are viewing me. Because like when I go out alone, I have no problem going out by myself and like running errands and stuff. But in my head, once again, back to like the main character thing, I feel like people are looking at me with like the hazy sunlight coming through and with like a very golden kind of screen, and that everything I'm doing looks like birds are chirping behind me, and that it's everything just looks like beautiful and amazing. And like you can call it self-centered all you want, but I'm gonna be really happy picking my fucking cereal box off the shelf because I think that I look, you know, so Snow Whitey and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about how, like, once again, like you saying you fall more and more in love with yourself. When I'm out alone, I fall more and more in love with just like the world as a whole, because I'm a big people watcher. So like I look at people in the way that I imagine people looking at me. So it's like I'm also seeing other people, like whether you're sitting alone at the bench eating tacos, or if you're like, you know, with your boyfriend and you're sitting on a rock at the pier and you guys are chatting about whatever, or like you're just someone by yourself on the phone with your girlfriend and you're just, you know, chatting about whatever dates that you just had and stuff. Like I look at all these people and I'm just the type of person who I'm the type of person who just gets very like, it's not emotional, but I just like the feeling of acknowledging other people having lives outside of mine.
There's the a beauty in the world. Like finding the beauty in the world, it feels good.
Yeah, and there's a part of me that, and this is a lot to ask of people in general, but there's a part of me that believes that someone on several occasions is looking at me in the way that I'm looking at other people, and it just makes me feel better.
It's always good to romanticize life. I think it's how I get through life. Like if you're gonna look at life like this, like, oh, like I have to fucking another fucking day, like whatever, like it's again all about energy, like you were saying. Like it's always all about energy. It's what you pour is what you're gonna receive. And like if you're gonna pour out this like negative talk, negative energy, and think like the world is ending every single fucking second of your day or of your life, like that's what you're going to see all around you. And you're going to feel shitty about your life. You're going to feel shitty about yourself. But if you're going to like romanticize life and find the beauty within life and find the beauty in the ugly, like I think I am such a like silver linings ass bitch. Like I feel so annoying sometimes whenever my friends go through shit sometimes, because I'll be like, yeah, but like, okay, let's look at the silver lining here. And it's like, bitch, shut up. But it's also like so true where it's like, I love to say, like, for example, like rejection is redirection. Like the universe just protected you from something that probably wasn't meant for you. Or like if you went through a hard breakup, like that person wasn't meant for you, but you probably learned like some really great lessons about yourself and about what you want in a person. Or like, I don't know, something like really shitty could have fucking happened. And like, it might be really hard to look at the silver lining, but it's like, for example, like one time, this is gonna get real dark a little for a second, but like I remember really, really struggling a few years ago to find a job, and I was sitting at home, and my dad was actually having a stroke, and I remember like it completely like killing my entire like reality of life. But I remember like looking back on it, and it's like it's so weird to like almost like find beauty in something shitty like that. But it was like, I remember being like, I feel so grateful for not having a job, because I was there for my dad to catch him having a stroke, to call the ambulance within seconds. And like, I remember the doctor being like, you caught this so quick and so fast. Had you been like 10 minutes late, he would have had permanent damage on his brain. And it's like, holy shit. And it's just like, I always feel like thinking about things like there's a silver lining in everything. And like, again, like the beauty and ugly, I feel like has also helped me feel more confident about life. And whenever like something shitty happens, where like I don't let it define me, or like I try to not let it define me, because it probably has happened for a reason, or like there's a reason for this happening in my life, where like I'm going to come out of it. One, I'm going to be okay, but I'm also going to become stronger as a person. And like that in and of itself is something beautiful.
Damn. That was
dark.
No, it's not even that it was dark, but it was like I had to keep a straight face, because like I had like chills ran through, and I didn't want to be like, ooh, like, you know, like right in the middle of your story. But like, I don't know, I view things the same way. That's why I have nothing. I have no notes. That's like my go-to thing. But I mean, that's how I view things too. Like literally anything. And I think I might have mentioned this to you before, like the burnt toast theory. Like that's, I full on believe in that.
I full on believe in that shit too.
And for those of you who don't know, it's the idea of like, you know, let's say you're having a shitty morning, blah, blah, blah. And then you make some toast or whatever, it comes out burnt, and you're like, oh my God, fuck, it's burnt. Now I got to put 2 more pieces of toast in. And that time, a car fucking crashes right in front of your apartment or wherever you were gonna go, and it was the burnt toast that saved your life. So that's the little thing about like these little things, silver lining. But yeah, and I think we are finally on our last few questions. So what is something that you're still working on confidence-wise?
I feel like everything. Like I don't think that there's only like one specific thing that I'm ever just like working on, because again, it's always like a non-linear journey that like I might feel really good about my body now, and then next year I'm gonna be like, I really hate it, or like I really love the way my life is looking now. Next year I might be like, I actually really hate it. So like I think I allow for revision in my life constantly, because nothing is ever going to be set in stone, because again, I'm the creator of my own reality. Like I can wake up one day, and if I want to change something, like I can. And so I never want to like close myself off from what I need to constantly work on. Like I want to constantly work on myself. I want to constantly be like a better friend, a better partner, a better daughter, a better sister. Like I want to continuously do better every single day. And so I think, to put it simply, like everything.
Yeah. And then what's the most confident thing that you've done that past you wouldn't believe?
That I went on a solo trip. I reflect on this so much, because I literally still cannot believe I fucking did that. Like I feel like I blacked out in that moment, and like every time I look back or like look at photos, I'm like, no way I fucking did that. Especially like with someone who grew up like codependent and like really uncomfortable with being with themselves. Like imagining like Nisha, like future Nisha, going on a solo trip to the south of Portugal on like a whole culinary retreat and like meeting a bunch of random ass women and cooking with them for an entire fucking week and like finding so much joy in that and falling in love with the world and like being like, wow, there's so much to the world and like just like little old Queens, New York. It just, I would have been like, you're bugging. Like, there's no fucking way. And I don't necessarily think like solo travel is for everyone, but for me, like, again, going back to the whole thing of like wanting to learn independence, like for me, when I crashed out when I booked that trip, I just crash out all the time, you know? Chronically anxious girl, like always crashing out. But I remember like I really wanted to do something so out of the box and so like scary because of that like exposure therapy thing. I'm like, all right, like I've already gone to the movies by myself. I already like done the like solo dining. Like what's something that I can do that would really put me in a place where like I am low-key fending for myself. And so I was like, oh, like maybe I should go on a solo trip. And I was like thinking of like, oh, like maybe I'll go to like London or like I'll just go to a different state, which like there's nothing wrong with solo traveling, like just across the states. But I was like, I've been to London before. Like I want to do something so out of the box. And there was this girl that I follow that does like dinner pop-ups across New York City, Spain, and then I think she's like done it in like France and Italy. And she posted this culinary retreat she's hosting in Portugal with this farm that was based in the south of Portugal. And I remember like being like, okay, wait, this might be a sign. And I sent it to my sister who like helps validate any like real adult life decisions because she's like the real adult in my life. And like, I'm like, okay, if she says yes to this, then I can be delusional enough to do it. She was like, bitch, you need to fucking do it. That sounds so cool. And I'm like, aww, shit, like, all right, it's go time. And I remember like not telling anyone else about it until my sister validated it and I had the trip booked because I was like, I didn't want anyone else to be like, Nisha, like, are you sure? Like kind of like instilling like fear in me. Like I wanted to do this for myself. I didn't want anyone else to sway my decision, especially because unfortunately, like I'm low-key an impressionable person. Like if someone is like gonna go against whatever I have to say, like sometimes I'll be like, you know what, you're right. And it's like, I wanted to do this for myself. I wanted to think for myself. I wanted to like, the entire like joy of solo traveling in general is like, thinking about like you can do anything at your own time on your own accord. And that's why I was just like, you know what, this is fucking perfect for me to learn that independence that I've been yearning for. Yeah. And so I booked it. I went on the solo retreat. I made lifelong friends that are across the world too. Yeah. Like I remember like I made this one friend who lives in Paris. Aww. And I'm like, oh my God, like I should go to Paris, right? She's like, bitch, yes. And like it just feels so nice to be able to like, there's so much more to the world than just like, again, Queens, New York. But I learned so much about myself. Like I spent a few days in Lisbon right after I was in the south of Portugal. And I remember like sitting on the balcony overlooking the view of Portugal and like having such an existential crisis moment of like, I can't fucking believe I'm here. And like, I was kind of like almost like internally talking to my inner child of like, my younger self would have been like, would look at me now. And I think a lot of like what helping build confidence is like, I know my inner child and my younger self would look at me or older Nisha and be like, I want to be just like her. And so like I'm doing everything for that younger self to kind of like, if there's anybody I'm trying to validate, it's my younger self. It's my inner child. And so I remember just like sitting on the balcony and being like, I can't fucking believe that I'm in a foreign country by myself. And I remember I was like crying too and over wine and just like journaling and being like, everything I have learned in my entire life, every experience that I had led me to this moment. And like, it really helped me grow as a person where it's like, I can do anything that I fucking want to do. And I can like, if I want to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. I don't have to wait for anyone else. I don't have to get anyone else's permission or validation. I mean, besides my sisters, you know? But it's like, I did it for myself. And I remember like, I can talk about it now. And I've talked about it with so many people after the fact. And they're all like, that's so cool that you did that. Like, they're like, I could never go on a solo trip. And like, it makes you feel good. Cause it's like, again, like I went from being this like really timid girl in this shell to like someone who kind of, I think of like a butterfly, like who just like spread her wings and like is like able to fly now. And so that was like the most like pivotal moment where I looked back on and I'm like, no way I did that.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it's literally just this podcast.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm not, like, I've never not been some level of confident because, like, even looking back, like, younger me 100% sees myself doing this. Like, there is no, like, oh my God, like, I would never. My thing is, like, I'm just nervous. Like, I feel like it's all, and, like, I also have the mindset where it's like, well, for as long as you're nervous, it means you care. And for as long as you care, like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I think back to like younger me and I'm like, younger me probably thinks I'm doing more. Younger me might be disappointed. Like
you're younger, you use your hater.
Yeah, like 16-year-old me, 18-year-old me thinks like I'm popping because it's like, okay, you got your own place, you got a dog, that's all you need.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But like little me, it's like, bitch, so we haven't met Justin Bieber yet. Like what's it going? You slacking. So so if anything, if I gotta impress my younger self, I gotta do better. Like,
Right.
I'm not doing enough.
Right.
But
it's always good to want to do better.
yeah,
Always good.
whichever version wants it.
Whichever version wants it. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, thanks for coming on. Once again, I'm happy with this conversation. This was great.
Thanks for having me. I'll be here all night.
Okay, do you have any last words for anybody listening or watching?
You're enough. I feel like when you're in Marshalls or like Home Goods, like those signs,
Yes.
that's like live, laugh, love.
You're worthy stuff.
You're
I love
worthy.
live, laugh, love. That's my thing. But like, I'm just a corny bathroom sign.
No, literally, you are a corny bathroom sign.
Well, okay, so I got nothing besides a sign. Or do I? Do I have anything? I'm a broken record when it comes to this confidence stuff. I say the same shit all the time.
I feel like we've been saying the like same thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, and give me 5 stars if your platform allows for you to do so. Per usual, I love you. Keep watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.